A very warm welcome to all of you on our session this morning. As you may be aware, we are having these three sessions daily on the same YouTube channel and Zoom link. One in the morning at 8 a.m., one in the afternoon at 4:15, and the third one in the evening at 7:45 p.m. All these three sessions are geared towards introducing you to Sahaja, just bringing in a brief introduction about what it really is, how we benefit from it, and why should we do it. Apart from these three sessions, we have one more session at 5:30 p.m. daily for seekers who have now understood the basics and want to go a little deeper into meditation. So daily we have quite a big collective joining online at 5:30 p.m. on the same YouTube channel. Most of these three sessions for new seekers, we have them in Hindi, but for some seekers who requested to understand in other languages, we set this up where sometimes on Sunday morning we have this 8 a.m. session in English. Today we are going to have same. Also, today's session is going to be geared towards students, young folks, early job goers, specifically because this is a generation that is really struggling with the stressful environment all around, and things are getting worse and worse uh, than it was for the previous generation, so to say. And we'll have some slides to go through, which will help us in understanding this a little bit more. And then, of course, we'll talk about a little bit about our internal subtle system, and then meditation. At the end, if you have any questions or you want to speak with us, you can do that by joining the Zoom link or on the YouTube chat. You can leave your questions. We'll try to answer them here. So let's start with any further ado. So the first things that we have to think about is what is the value proposition here? Because anything you go to do, you go to the market, and that is how people look at Sahaj Yoga. Unfortunately, in Sahaj Yoga, uh, there's no market, there's no buying or selling because it is completely free of cost. You don't have to do anything of the sort, pay for it. So there's no evaluation as such, but still, for people who want to understand that why should I do surgery, there's a value proposition for them, which is really that you de-stress yourself, bring yourself into balance, and get a total well-being. When we say total well-being, it's very important to understand that. And why is it? Because we go to many sort of organizations where maybe somebody talks about your health, somebody just talks about peace of mind, or somebody consults you to solve any particular problem. But there is something inside us that is causing all of this. Even the seemingly mundane problems may be caused because of them. And we correct ourselves from a complete inner transformation. And that brings us this total well-being all around, as it is called as samyak, means an integrated way. So you just don't treat the leaf of a tree. You go to the roots and you correct it from the roots. And that is the method of Sahaja. Now, so because we said we're talking about young folks a lot today, it's a very easily acceptable statement that today the young ones are really in a very, very competitive and aggressive environment. Any walk of life they pick up, and it's a crazy mess that they are in. And all of this creates a very, very unsuitable environment for them to work in, for them to thrive in. And this is causing great many problems. They're all the time thinking. Their minds are full of worry. Worry about career, success, admission into colleges, maybe, or competition in jobs. What are my peers doing? How much are they earning? How much am I earning? And then uh, when you have good income, then you have to show off because there's a standard of life that one has to follow, and then money problems and all of that come in. And all of this when people are actually working very hard. spending a lot of time and energy in working or studying or pursuing something all the time. It's a crazy mad race that's going on. There are many other aspects about the family, what they think of us, and the opposite sex, what they think of us, how do I look. So many things are all the time going on. And all of this thinking and stress, it leads into a lot of things which are very harmful. It, in fact, leads to a lack of self confidence. Such people are not very attentive. You'll see that the older generation, when they talk to the younger ones, they think that where is the attention span of the generation? They don't listen to us at all. They can't hear us for 2 minutes or more. So, because they are less attentive, they have loss of memory and they're all the time restless and thinking. One is all the time restless because they're thinking too much, and it's just not a very um, good life where you're not probably able to enjoy things properly. If you're all the time stressful and restless and thinking and impatient and irritated. Today's stress is very, very strongly talked about all around. It is the talk of the hour in a way in all medical fields. And Shree Mataji Nirmala Devi's photograph you can see behind me. She started Sahaja in 1970. She's the one who gave this whole idea and brought out the method of Ama self-realization for her. And when she started talking about Sahaja, she went across many nations as her husband was in a job with the United Nations, was at a very senior position, appointed as the head of the International Maritime Organization. So Shree Mataji had to live all across the world. And she talked about uh, the direct correlation between how we think and behave in our day-to-day life and take stress and what particular diseases are caused because of that. And quite a lot of time after that, a lot of research has now happened to really establish that. But today, it's very easy to say that stress causes all of these things that are listed out here. And you go to any doctor and you point out any physical problem, the first thing they might tell you is that you have to change your lifestyle or the way you live and the work and all of that. Just bring it down. So many people learn about it at a later point of time in their lives. One should really think of these things beforehand. And before entering this mad race that we're talking about, this cutthroat competition that is all around, for proving something to ourselves and to the family and people around, we're going into things that are really detrimental to our not just our health, our mental health also, and a complete being in a way. How so? So effect of stress, some are listed here: anxiety, tension, loss of sleep. I've really got to know a lot of people with loss of sleep, and it's very alarming and surprising. And something that easily is curable through surgery. It's one of the easiest ones, I would say. Aggression, obesity, heavy smoking and drinking. Now, this has really come up, and really the young people are getting into it, and it's very dangerous. The most dangerous part not mentioned here is about taking drugs as well. And we have learned how we used to see in foreign movies earlier that young generation used to get a lot of into it. Now we get to know that our young generation in India also are getting into this, and it's extremely dangerous. One should try to figure out why they do this, because it's first of all, it may end up being just a peer pressure that you would do such things. So, my friends are doing, everybody is doing such things. So let's do it. In many cases, it actually is also about running away from the stress, daily stress. They say work hard and party harder. Why should we do hard or anything? So when you are crazily working all the time, you're thinking, you're going mad, then you have to get an escape from this thinking. And that is how people go into all these things, where just get a relief from all of this. It is on both sides, it's actually hurting you. Work hard and then you go into such things, you are preparing yourself for a very, very bad future. In fact, a very near future, which is very bad. So it's all of this is related to the environment that is created all around us. Obviously, the diseases mentioned, diabetes, hypertension, constipation, migraine, so many things are all related, in fact, to stress. People who are stressful cannot perform well. People who are under stress can also develop depression. Again, a modern phenomenon that has become very common. Depression has been there, but not in the young folks. Today, I have seen personally even school-going children talking about depression. It is quite an alarming thing. As human beings, we have come to a lot of advancements and great society building and so many things that we're talking about, science and all of this, and creating a future for our next generation. One really begs the question that, is this the future that we are building? If such young children are getting into depression, it's a question that we must all answer and think about. So we are told that don't take stress, just start living. It's okay. Somebody will come and consult, but when you're stressed out, maybe some friends and family will tell you that just start living. Whatever you have, it's okay, good enough. Do not go into such pressures and some other gyan me. But to be honest, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work because we are living in that same environment. As soon as you step out or meet someone, again, you will start thinking the same things. It is all around. There's no escape. So then it is said that you take to other things which can help you alleviate some of the stress. So people take to exercise. They take to a routine where they don't sit idle and think, so let me go and do a jog or get into exercises. Imagine someone who's already working very hard the whole day in an office, a very successful man. We call him in Sahaja right sided because the right channel, that is the Pingla Nadi, is what you use for all your actions. Those actions can be physical or mental. So this is a person that is doing a lot of mental activity daily and very stressed out, thinking all the time. He again starts doing physical activities as well, which are really taxing on him. It's a double whammy. We have seen and heard of very successful CEOs getting heart attacks, and they would live amazingly perfect lives, with such a great health, all of that. It's because we don't understand ourselves in an integrated way, as we talked about in the beginning. Our body is made in a way where it balances itself, as nature balances itself. And there are harmful effects. I'm not saying don't exercise. We should. We should do things in moderation. But it doesn't really help us relieve the stress so much. Maybe for a while you may stop thinking. So that's the relief. Same as with music and dance. I would say art forms, Indian art forms do have a capacity to relieve some stress and bring us into some balance. But again, it is momentary because it plays on the left channel. So there is a balancing act that comes. So what is the permanent solution to all of this madness? It is meditation. That is why it is being talked about day in, day out. All around people are looking for ways and methods for meditation, and people are searching and going to many wrong places also, because when there comes a demand, there's a plethora of options open up. Many people are talking about meditation today. But unfortunately, we don't know how to meditate. In fact, we don't know what is meditation. I agree, I accept, I need to meditate because I need to become better, I need to become more peaceful. I'm very stressed out. Okay, I want to meditate. But as soon as I sit to meditate, I'm thinking. I'm thinking all the time. So I'm not really in meditation. not doing meditation. So this is something that I hear from many, many people. And it is the most common problem. People don't know how to meditate or what is meditation, what to expect in meditation or in the name of spirituality. This is the biggest challenge in our great country. People from all over the world, in fact, come today to India to search for spirituality because they know, we also know, that this is the greatest heritage of this country is, in fact, the history of yoga, of searching for the divine, of penance. So many people, so many saints, incarnations have talked about the something higher. Unfortunately, it is all very vague. It is something in the air. We don't know what it is. And really, we don't know how to get to it. But when some people talk about it, talk big, and we get enamored and we think this is probably the way. But we have not gone back and checked what has been talked about. Is this all correlating with what has been talked about in the past? So, what is meditation? Let's come to that. Meditation is about being in the present. You actually do not do meditation, it is a state where you are in the present. We say that we are thinking all the time, and that is what is creating all this stress, and we want to just run away from it and get some peace. What will that peace be? When we are not thinking of the past or of the future. We're all the time, in fact, thinking of these two things, whether we are awake or asleep. These are only the two things possible that we think of. Because when we are in the present, we actually don't have to think about it. So we keep jumping on the cusps of these thoughts. And we don't even realize that we have moved from one thought to the other. It's just that one thought rises, maybe we see the rising of the thought, we don't see the falling of the. We just move on to the next. And it goes on. There's no peace of mind because of this. When you are in meditation, something happens inside you that brings you into a state where you are in the present, and this vilam, this pause gets established for a while, and that gives you the peace of mind that you're looking for. Now, meditation, you can see a word here, thoughtless awareness. That is the first step that you get when you get your self-realization. It's a big word, both of these are. But that is the only way to get to something higher, to get to the divine, to get to our spiritual life, is by getting our self-realization. What is self-realization? We'll just come to that. But the first thing that happens after self-realization is we get a thoughtless awareness where we are completely aware and we are thoughtless. So we can think if we want. We have the capacity and the ability, but we are not bound by these thoughts all the time. We have the freedom to think. That's the first boon that we get after we get our self-realization. Now, there are other things mentioned here that it's a growth of awareness takes place and all that. Might be a little too much right now. We'll skip on that part. But let's talk about Sahaja. So what is so unique about Sahaja? What does it mean? What happens that does this great thing inside us? Sahaj, the word means simple. It's Sanskrit, Hindi for simple. Also, it means spontaneous, something that happens on its own. All living processes are spontaneous and they happen on their own. For example, you put a seed into the mother earth, it sprouts on its own. You don't have to pull the prenule out or anything. It's a spontaneous process, a natural process. Our breathing, our digestion, birth of a child, and all of that is made by God in such a way that they are all spontaneous and living processes. So all living processes are in fact spontaneous. We've come this far in our evolution as human beings, also spontaneously. It may seem like it's been thousands of years and all of that, but it happened naturally on its own. What I mean to say is we did not cut our tails to become human beings from monkeys. It's all natural, spontaneous in a way. Also, Sahaj means Saha means with, Ja means born. Something so innate that it is born with. This whole mechanism, this whole method that we're talking about, this whole setup is there in all of us, already built in. We just have to sort of switch on a plug, so to say. So it's something that is already built in. We are built very, very beautifully by the divine, by God Almighty. And we'll just have a look at it and understand everything in some details now. Of course, I'm sure all of you have seen this chart panel. It's a great boom, actually, that so many people have come up and are talking about this, that now people are aware. Earlier, when Shivaji started Sahaj Yoga, she used to face a lot of problems because people won't know what is Kundalini. They had never heard the word Kundalini as well. Let me give you a brief about what it is, how it works out. Then we'll go into meditation after this. When we were in our mother's womb, maybe 2.5 months time, when it's said that life enters the fetus, that is actually when the power that created us, can call it by any name you like, but that is our individual mother. So that power entered from the top of the fontanel bone area. It is a soft bone in very little kids or toddlers, newborn babies, if you have seen. This is a very soft bone, and it, in fact, it even pulsates at times. So this energy entered from this area, and our brain, being a prism-shaped entity, it refracted into three parts. And the one coming from the right went to the left, which is shown here in the blue. This is called as the Ida Nadi inside us. This channel actually governs our sympathetic nervous system on the left-hand side, is also called as the moon channel, left channel, and is responsible for all our desires. They all emanate from this channel. All our emotions also come from this. All our past is stored on it, the collective past and all. So this was created. Then the energy coming from the left that went into the right, which is shown in yellow here, is called as the Pingala Nadi. It is the channel of our action. It is the sun channel. It is the channel of our future. All our mental, physical activities, as we said, are done by the sun. And people who are very uh, aggressive, futuristic, work too much on the right channel. People who are depressed, think of the past too much, work too much on the left channel. Very emotional people are on the left channel more. And there's always a sort of an imbalance because we are either of two most of the time. The energy coming in the center created these flower-like things that you see, which are called as chakras. You can call them as energy centers, whatever you like. These chakras govern our complete being. These nadis and chakras are, in fact, responsible for our complete being. So whether it be physical being, mental being, emotional being, spiritual being, all of this is governed by these chakras. And these chakras are placed where we have our plexuses, or the processing points of thousands of channels inside our body, and the organs around them are also governed by these chakras. Now, the energy after all of this creation comes and settles down at almost the end of our spine. There's a triangular bone. This bone is called a sacrum bone. Sacrum means sacred. Somewhere or the other, the Greeks knew that this is a sacred bone, which is why they named it sacrum. And when the energy comes and settles down, it makes 3.5 coils. And coils in Sanskrit is known as Kundalini. She is the mother power, which is why it is called as Kundalini. She is our individual mother and knows every little thing about us. She's been with us all of our lives. Her only goal and aim is to give us our rebirth, our second birth, self-realization. In Sanskrit, a self-realized person is called as Dvijaha, means twice born. A bird is also called as Dvijaha, means twice born. Why? Because the bird first comes to the world in the form of an egg. For the bird, the egg is the world. But when it breaks through, it sees the world for what it really is. And that is the case with us as well. We are, in fact, completely unaware of a new dimension that is all around us. And we get to know that when we get ourselves realization. So what happens? What is self-realization? Self-realization is awakening of this power inside us and piercing through the spontaneous bone area again to connect us with the all-pervading power that is all around us. We've heard since uh, in Hindu religion, at least we have been told that, kan mein Bhagwan. That means every molecule and atom has God inside. We have never felt it. We've never truly felt it. We may know in our minds or hearts, yes, there is God. Sometimes we have been protected or something like that. But for definite, on our central nervous system, what we know for sure as truth is we know on our central nervous system, you touch something, it's hot, it's hot. That surety and that connection has not come to us. So we have not really known the existence of God, the divine. When this happens, this breakthrough happens, this power that is all around us starts flowing through us. And we feel it on our palms in meditation. This power, you can call it by whatever name, is called as Chaitanya Lahari by Adi Shankaracharya. He was the first Shankaracharya who established the four Char Dham that we know of and all of that. And he wrote many books which were quite intellectual. And then he wrote a book called Saundarya Lahari, which means beautiful vibrations. He talked about, in the title itself, he talked about these vibrations. And he says that when Mother's grace dawns upon us, we feel Salilam Salilam Chaitan. That means cool vibrations. In Bible, it is said that when Holy Ghost will come, you'll feel the cool breeze. In Quran, it is said that when Qiyamah's time will come, that means the resurrection time, your hands will speak and will give witness against you. Now, how can hands speak? Let us see. So when this power starts flowing through us, we feel the cool breeze on our hands. Also, the chakras that are not okay, the Kundalini works on these chakras. And we feel a little tingling sensation on one or the other finger. Today, we don't know anything about us, to be honest. It is self-evaluation, could be relative, it's not absolute. For example, I might be a very hot-headed, tempered guy. And I would always blame others and not see my own fault. But let's say I get a really strong burning and meditation on this finger. Then if the decoding thing is already done, this is the finger of kitchen. In Sahaja Yoga, we know why chakras are caught up, and I would know that this is caught up because of my ego, my temper, and all of that. But just by knowing our fault, we cannot correct it and come. It is corrected by Kundalini. But first of all, we get to know what is wrong with us. Even physically, you may go to the doctors and they may end up telling you have only few months left to live, because you just take care of your life and all of that. And it comes as a huge shock and surprise to people. But I wasn't aware of anything about this. So our imbalances that are building up slowly, gradually inside, we don't know of them. We get to know of them with the help of these chakras represented on our fingers. So these chakras are here, of 5 here, 6 and 7. On the left side, on the right side, they're got up because of different reasons. And it's a great big science. Once you practice Sahaja Yoga, you'll get to know why something is like this and what to do to correct it. So all of that knowledge is again freely made available by Shree Mataji in thousands of lectures. And it is a huge knowledge pool to learn about. There are various chakras getting caught up because of various reasons, various deities working on them, and you learn very easily in Sahaja Yoga how to cure them. So, in effect, what is happening? You get to know about yourself, you get thoughtless awareness, you know how to correct yourself. So you gradually start correcting yourself. You also know about others. When I'm connected with the server, I can check about other computers. The same way, you can ask about others and correct them in fact. You can give them self-realization, unimaginably amazing, but you can. And you can know the truth about anything, any person for sure. Somebody comes in front of you wearing some clothes that make him look like a divine person. You will not be sure if he's a crook or a saint. In fact, whatever God you worship today, if he comes in front of you, you will not be able to recognize. There's just no way to recognize. If he comes dressed up, you'll think that somebody's come dressed up. If he doesn't, you will not realize or recognize. So we just do not have the eyes to see. Like Kabira said, "Kaise samjhao samjha atha." Because these people, when they came on this earth, these great saints, incarnations, seers, poets, they came on a different level altogether. And it's that difference because from a higher story, you can see much more. Let's say the ground floor, you will not be able to see. So you will say that, oh, you're just making up stories. So all these people were really tortured and not given a good life to live. There are so many stories of great saints. Now we worship them and make temples for them. But their lives are very difficult because of this one particular reason that they could not give to the general public even an insight into what is divine. Shree Mataji Nirmala Devi thought of a way where all of us can get a glimpse. We can maybe come to the first floor a little bit and just see that, yes, there's something across the horizon. And that is the way of Ama's realization. Realization, Atma Sakshatkar, was given as a one Guru, one Shishya Parampara in our great country. It has been greatly talked about, even in Ramanand Sagar's Ramayana that we've seen. The Guru, he talks about uh, all chakras and kundalini. It's shown when Sri Rama and brothers go to his ashram. It's all shown there. So it has been there and it's widely talked about, but it has always been kept very secretive. And one Guru, one Shishya Parampara has been there because it's just not for the public that has been decided. But now the time has come. Sri Mataji says this is the blossom time. It is a promised time as well. In all scriptures, this has been mentioned that time will come when you'll all get your self-realization. And it's very difficult for us to believe that, yes, this is that time. But this is in fact that time. The olden way of very difficult methods was of putting first everything all right, and then you get self-realization. Here Sri Mataji says, let there be a little bit light. First, let all of us get our self-realization. In that light, we judge ourselves, we correct ourselves, and slowly and gradually we come to the right path. And that is how today's Sahaja Yoga is very different from the ancient one. Sahaja Yoga is the same. It is about connecting with the divine. It is just a different method in a way that the general mass is getting. We all find it very difficult to believe that this is possible. I am such a sinful person, and it is done only for the greatest of greatest souls and all of that. But just think about it. If it is only for a very few, then the world is not fair. Because we're living in a world where, after all these advancements and all of that, we've seen that there's so much sadness, so much wrong that is happening, done by human beings. Then, if there is a God, did He make us in this fashion so that we could end up being so sorrowful and sad? No. He would have made us in a way very beautiful, and He would have kept everything ready for us to just get it. And that is the case. Everything is available freely to us. We just have to get to it and fulfill what we are here for. I'll just end the theory part with a small anecdote that I really like. There's a Nal Damayanti Akhyan great scripture of ours, where the story is about King Nal and his wife Damayanti, who were separated by Kali. Kali, whose yuga we live in, King got hold of Kali and said, I'll destroy you because you are so evil. When your time will come, people will suffer so much. So he said, go ahead, O great king. And but just first listen to my importance. King said, what could be your importance? He said that when my time will come, Ghor Kali will come. People who are searching for God today in hills and dales and Himalayas and forests, they will be born as household people. And they will all get their self-realization. This is just one of the many references to a future time that we have heard of, which means that it has to happen. We have to get it. Just how and where is something that we do not know. Listening to this, the king, of course, let him go. But we see that we are living in times of great confusion. And because of this confusion, we are today searching for God or something higher, divine, spiritual, which leads us to this great happening inside of us. As I said, there's too much to talk about in Sahaja Yoga, and there's just no end to the theory part of it. But for today, this is enough. Now let's get to the most important part of the session, which is meditation, the experiment to get our self-realization here, right now, online. It again sounds very fantastic, but believe you me, this has happened for many, many people, and it's going to happen for you as well. First of all, we have to sit in a comfortable position. There are a few steps that we'll see with our eyes open right now, and later on we'll do them with our eyes closed. So if you're sitting on the ground, you can sit cross-legged and open both of your palms in your lap as it is shown here. We'll sit straight, not very straight, not slouching. And if you can't sit on the ground, please feel free to sit on the sofa or on the chair. When you sit on the sofa or the chair, please make sure your legs are apart. And again, your palms open and you sit straight. If there's anything tight on your body, you can take it out. Especially take out the spectacles and anything tight anywhere, you loosen it out because your attention should not go there in meditation. So as you said, we'll just do these steps right now with our eyes open. You can see them and do it along with us. And then we'll do these steps with our eyes closed. It will take hardly 5 to 10 minutes. So our left hand should be open in our lap as it is shown here. We'll place the right hand on the Mother Earth. Left hand in our lap, right hand on the Mother Earth. This is the first step. Then we'll bring the right hand back into our lap and place the left hand bent from the elbow towards the sky as it is shown here. Then we'll do the next step, which is put both of our hands on the Mother Earth. After this, the steps will be done only with the right hand. So we'll keep the left hand open in our lap as it is shown here and place the right hand on our heart. Place the right hand on our heart. Then the right hand on our forehead. Like this, when we would have a headache, press from both the sides and bend our head forward in the front. Then we'll place this right hand completely outstretched, fingers outstretched, and place the center of the palm at the top of our head like this. Fingers outstretched, center of the palm placed at the top of the frontal bone area, and we'll move while pressing in a clockwise direction. We'll move our palm while pressing the top of our head in a clockwise direction. Of course, we'll have some prayers in all these steps. Then we'll raise this hand just above here. See the vibrations coming out of our body. So it's a very easy question that can pop up in our minds that are these steps just enough to get me something so great and amazing that we're talking about? The answer is no. Self-realization happens by the grace of somebody who's a divine personality, who's a realized soul only. Here, Shree Mataji is present to give this great boon to us. Her photograph is very special and it emanates those vibrations that makes this great happening happen inside us. We'll keep all our questions and doubts aside because if this truly is something so great, we should not allow these questions and doubts to hinder our chance of self-realization. Because unless we are clear of them, we will not get self-realization today. So just ask our mind to keep all these questions and doubts aside and feel just one thought that I want to have my self-realization today. That is the only desire. uh, we shall look at Shree Mataji's photograph with that one desire in mind and slowly close our eyes. Both of our palms should be open in our lap, should be sitting straight. Attention should be inside. Just see what is happening there. We will now do the steps that we had seen. We place the right hand on the Mother Earth and keep the left hand open in our lap. Here we have to pray, Mother, please bring my left channel into balance. Take out all the impurities and imbalances of my left channel through the Mother Earth. Should also bring our attention to our palms and just see what is happening there. Mother, please take out all the impurities and imbalances of my Ida Nadi left channel through the Mother Earth. Now we shall bring the right hand back into our lap and put the left hand bent from the elbow towards the sky. Right hand in our lap, left hand bent from elbow towards the sky. Here we have to pray that Mother, please bring my right channel into complete balance. Whatever impurities and imbalances are still left in my right channel, please take them out through the ether element. Bring our attention to both of our palms and just see what is happening there. Mother, please take out all the impurities and imbalances of my Pingla Nadi right channel through the ether element. Now we'll bring both the hands and place them on the Mother Earth. We pray, Mother, whatever imbalances are still left in my left and right channels, please take them out through the Mother Earth. Mother, please bring us into the present, into the center, into the balance. Mother, please take out all the impurities and imbalances of my left and right channel that are still left through the Mother Earth. We will just keep watching us and our attention throughout the meditation. Bring both of your hands back into your lap. Now we will keep the left hand open as it is in our lap and place the right hand on our heart. Left hand on our lap open and right hand on our heart. Press it here so that we feel our heart beat. This is the place inside us. Spirit, Atma, is the reflection of the God Almighty, Paramatma, inside all of us and is just witnessing everything that is happening. The only eternal thing is the Atma inside us. The rest all is very, very fleeting. Whatever we think of ourselves as personality, its body, mind, etc., is all fleeting. We are, in fact, the pure spirit. And that is what we have to assert here. The great truth. Mother, I am the pure spirit. Just say with full confidence, because this is the truth. Mother, I am the pure spirit. Mother, I am the pure spirit. Mother, I am the pure spirit. Now, as I am the pure spirit, I am not guilty of anything. Feeling guilty is very detrimental to self-realization experience because we may not feel the vibrations in our hands because of feeling guilty because a particular chakra gets caught up. We have to leave all the guilt at the lotus feet of God Almighty, who's the ocean of love and forgiveness, and to let Him decide. We have to say with full confidence that, Mother, I am not guilty at all. Mother, I am not guilty at all. Mother, I am not guilty at all. Say it with full confidence. Now we shall bring this hand to our forehead and place it across like you would in a head when you would have a headache, and bend your head forward. Here, you have to forgive everyone. Say, Mother, I forgive everyone. By not forgiving, we don't do anything. In fact, we play into the hands of people who have done us wrong. But by forgiving, we let go and allow God to take over. Just say it with full confidence that, Mother, I forgive everyone. And really forgive. Do not think of anyone, anything. Just forgive as a blanket. Mother, I forgive everyone. I forgive myself too. O God Almighty, if I have made any mistakes against you, knowingly or unknowingly, please forgive me. For our satisfaction, we say, O God Almighty, if knowingly or unknowingly I have made any mistakes against you, please forgive me. Now we'll bring this right hand to the top of our head and place the center of the palm at the fontanelle bone area. Fingers are to be stretched back completely. and the center of the palm has to be pressed onto the fontanel bone area. We'll again bend our head forward, and while pressing the palm, we'll move it in a clockwise direction so that the scalp also moves along with it. While pressing the palm on the fontanel bone area, we'll move it in a clockwise direction so that our scalp also moves along with it. Here, we have to ardently and humbly request, without us asking for it, we will not get our self-realization. So we must say, Mother, please give me my self-realization. Mother, please give me my self-realization. Mother, please give me my Atma Sakshatkar. Mother, please give me my yoga, my union with the divine. Mother, please give me my Atma Sakshatkar. Mother, please give me my self-realization. Mother, please give me my self-realization. Stop moving the hand and bring it back gently into your mouth. Keep our attention where our hand was for a few seconds and sit in meditation. We'll slowly bring our attention to both of our palms. And you can raise your hands a little bit in your lap. Just see in the center of your palm, do you feel cool breeze coming out? You can stretch your fingers to see clearly. It is a subtle feeling, so we look at it minutely. Maybe in one hand or both the hands, you feel cool breeze coming out. It can also be hot. You do not need to bother. Just watch it. Now, bring your attention to the tips of your fingers. There would be a couple of fingers in one hand or both hands which are tingling or itching a little bit, giving not a very pleasant sensation. These are chakras that are brought up. You just have to watch and not react to it. Now I'll bring the right hand back at the top of our head where we had pressed and moved, and just raise it a few inches above. See, there's a cool breeze coming out of our head, touching our palm. Bend our head forward again and see, by moving your hand back and forth, left and right, from a particular place, you'll feel the cool breeze coming out and touching your palm. Bring the right hand back into your lap and see the same thing with your left hand. Left hand just a few inches above frontal bone area. Move it back and forth, left and right. See if there's a cool breeze coming out and touching your palm from a particular place. Now we'll raise both the hands completely up towards the sky, elbows straight, palms open towards the sky, and head pushed back. Here we have to ask one of these three questions 3 times. Oh God, is this Param Chaitanya? Is this divine power that does everything? Is this the cosmic energy, divine energy. Any questions you have? Bring your hand back, put the hands back into your lap. In answer to the questions, the vibrations would have improved on your palms. Keep your attention at the top of your head. And just for a few seconds, sit in quiet meditation. You can now slowly open our eyes and look at Shree Mataji's photograph. You can see that there are no thoughts right now. We are in thoughtless awareness, even with our eyes open. This is the first boon that we get when we get our self-realization. We'll bring both our hands together in namaskar and thanks to Shree Mataji and our Kundalini Mother inside for this blissful experience. For those of you who have recently joined us, I would request you to give yourself time. Attend these sessions for a while and establish this experience, as it may take a while to completely understand what is happening. Just like the germinating of a seed, which has to become a tree, by daily meditation, you give it the water and sunlight required. Also, there are a few methods to keep ourselves clean and protected in Sahaj Yoga that you can easily learn by joining our WhatsApp group. There's a link given in the YouTube chat. Also, there are short videos given in the YouTube channel itself for you to learn on your own as to how to meditate at home. Because you must meditate daily in the morning and in the evening for 5 to 10 minutes. That is all. Also, it is absolutely necessary that you go for collective meditation once in a week. There are centers all across the country, all across the world. There is a link given in the YouTube chat with which you can figure this out, the nearest center, and go there. Once again, everything is completely free in Sahaj Yoga. There is no money charged because essentially there's nothing in the world that if we can really pay for something so invaluable. As we discussed, there are 3 sessions going on daily. One in the morning at 8 a.m., one in the afternoon at 4:15, and one in the evening at 7:45 p.m. All these sessions are mostly in Hindi. We had one session today in English for seekers who are requested to understand in other languages. You can join any session as per your convenience. Also, there's a session at 5:30 p.m. every day for seekers who have now understood the basics and want to go into deeper meditation. There are no questions today, so we'll end the session here. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, Shree Mataji. Jai Shri Mataji.